Greetings Liverpool fan, in this video you'll stay updated on the latest Liverpool FC news. But first, leave your like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates about LFC news. Alright Liverpool fan, it's looking more and more like Liverpool fans aren't going to get their wish this January. Whether that's a new attacker or honestly any signing at all, once again. We're heading towards the end of the window with a lot of noise but very little action. And that draw with Burnley on Saturday really summed up where this squad is at right now. That game showed, yet again, just how short we are in terms of quality and cutting edge, especially going forward. We had plenty of the ball but not enough spark, not enough threat, and it's becoming a familiar story. Still, despite that, Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards don't seem keen on dipping into the market halfway through the season. There have been ongoing links to RB Leipzig winger Yan Diomande, and it's easy to see why. The lad has absolutely exploded in Germany this season and looks like one of those players who's destined for a massive move in the next year or two. At just 19, he's already turning heads all over Europe. Liverpool have been mentioned as one of the clubs keeping close tabs on him, and now Leipzig chairman Oliver Mintzlaff has given a bit of insight into the situation. Diomande is quick, direct, fearless, and adds goals from wide areas, pretty much everything our attack has been crying out for. He's only going to improve. And after he openly admitted he's a Liverpool fan, it's no surprise that Reds supporters have started getting their hopes up. Mintzlaff's comments won't exactly calm things down either. He admitted Leipzig would prefer not to sell after just one season, but also hinted that money talks and that selling talented players is sometimes unavoidable. It's been reported that several major clubs are watching closely, including Bayern Munich, Chelsea, Manchester City, and of course Liverpool. The price will be key, but the interest is definitely there. Saturday's dull draw against Burnley highlighted just how much we're missing in the wide areas. But after already watching Antoine Semenyo head to City, it feels very unlikely Liverpool will suddenly spring into action this month. All signs point towards the club focusing on the summer instead. The danger, though, is obvious. Clubs like City and Chelsea don't mess around, even in January. If one of them decides to move early with a big offer, Liverpool could once again be left on the outside looking in. For now, though, the expectation is that if Diomande does leave Leipzig, it'll be after the season ends, not before. So Reds, Liverpool could be lining up a proper shock move that nobody really saw coming, with reports suggesting the Reds might finally act on their long-standing interest in Real Madrid midfielder Eduardo Camavinga. Let's be honest, our Premier League form this season has pretty much killed off any serious title talk. It's been scrappy, inconsistent, and nowhere near the level needed to chase Arsenal. Because of that, all eyes now turn to the final couple of weeks of the transfer window, where Liverpool might try something bold to give this season a real lift, especially with the Champions League still in play. January deals are never easy, particularly when you're talking about elite players on massive wages and huge reputations. But with the recent chaos at Real Madrid following Xabi Alonso's sacking, Liverpool might sense an opportunity. According to reports coming out of Spain, the Reds are seriously looking at Camavinga and are even considering putting together a huge, never-before-seen offer to test Madrid's resolve. Real are apparently heading towards a bit of a rebuild, and Liverpool have already been linked with Jude Bellingham in recent weeks. That move feels like a fantasy right now, but Camavinga is now being mentioned as a more realistic, if still ambitious, alternative, and honestly, he'd be some signing. It feels like Camavinga's been around forever, but he's still only 23. Since joining Madrid back in 2021, he's racked up over 200 appearances and won pretty much everything there is to win. Champions Leagues, La Liga titles, cups, you name it. That kind of experience at such a young age is ridiculous, and it would translate brilliantly to the Premier League. From Liverpool's point of view, he'd be the missing piece in midfield. The club clearly feel they're lacking a true world-class operator in the middle of the park. Endo hasn't really convinced when called upon, and while Szoboszlai, Mac Allister, Gravenberch and Curtis Jones are all very good players, none of them quite carry that elite, best-in-the-world tag. Camavinga does. He's powerful, technical, tactically intelligent and versatile, enough to play multiple roles. Slot system would benefit massively from that kind of player controlling games. Add someone like Camavinga behind attackers like Wirtz, Ekatike and Isak, And suddenly Liverpool look a completely different animal. It's a massive ask, no doubt about it. But if the Reds are serious about closing the gap at the top, this is exactly the kind of statement signing that could change everything. Listen up, Liverpool fan. Liverpool are once again being connected with a promising young Brazilian as the January transfer window continues. Following another disappointing points drop, this time against Burnley, that 1-1 draw at Anfield has clearly hit a nerve. Virgil van Dijk is expected to call a full squad meeting on Monday as concerns grow that Liverpool's push for Champions League football could be slipping away. Drawing at home to Burnley is bad enough, but the bigger picture makes it worse. The Reds have now failed to beat all three newly promoted sides at Anfield this season, which is something that's never happened before in Premier League history. Van Dijk didn't hide his anger after the game either. He was straight out to speak to the media and made it clear that sloppiness late in games is becoming a worrying pattern. He admitted the team lost control after about an hour and stressed that this isn't a one-off. With a huge Champions League trip to Marseille coming up, he made it clear that Monday's meeting is massive because Wednesday will be hostile, intense, and tactically tough against a De Zerbi side. While all that's going on, fans are getting more and more irritated by the lack of movement in the transfer market. That frustration only grew when Mark Guehi, a player Liverpool had been linked with before, ended up agreeing a move to Manchester City instead. But there might finally be something happening. According to reports coming out of Turkey, Liverpool have now entered the race for a highly rated 20-year-old midfielder that Galatasaray were confident of landing. The journalist didn't name the player directly, but it's widely believed to be Corinthians midfielder Breno Bitten. That's already attracting attention from just about everyone: Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, Newcastle, Aston Villa and Brighton are all said to be monitoring him, which tells you a lot on its own. Despite his age, he's already played over 100 senior games for Corinthians, which is crazy when you think about it. He's a Brazil under-20 international and is being compared to PSG's Vitinha for his close control, composure under pressure, and ability to glide through tight midfield spaces. He's not flashy for the sake of it, but he's technically excellent and very intelligent on the ball. Now, Liverpool's biggest need still feels like it's at the back, so it would be a bit of a surprise if their next major signing is a midfielder rather than a defender. That said, this is one of those names that feels worth watching closely. With the squad clearly lacking control at key moments, adding a calm, high-upside talent like Bitten could make sense. Whether it happens this month or not is another question entirely, but after weeks of silence, at least it feels like something might finally be moving. This is the Liverpool FC News Fan Channel and I'll stop here. If you liked it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. A big hug and see you in the next video.